Yo, welcome to SBP Live. As always, I'm your boy Prime Source. Was good.
What up, Prime? What's going on with you on this good Sunday afternoon?
Not a thing, not a thing. Sitting here in this chair, uh, tripping, because I thought after last night I would have a nice hangover, but I don't. So I'm thankful for that. But I am sipping plenty of water this morning, so I'm all good, man. All good, nice and sunny out there. Said I wasn't going anywhere. Now I'm debating should I go anywhere, but nah, because I don't want to spend no money, bro. I ain't trying to spend no
Bro,
money.
it's hot,
Be right.
hot out that jump. It's hot out that
Yeah,
jump.
the heat is on. The heat is on, man. Yeah, man. We on a little bit later than we normally come on, but it's all love, it's all good. But we know we have to get into this thing to talk NBA because we had a lot of things go on. Of course, free agency started on Friday, and we had a lot of good things that pop off. We had some people out here requesting trades. We got some people that got paid. We got some people that's moved around. Somebody's been moved around twice already. So this has been very, very interesting, man. But there's nothing been more interesting than the news that we got yesterday. And I'm sure you and everybody else know what we're talking about. And that was the man, Dame Lillard requests a trade. What was your first thought when you saw this?
My first thought was, I guess he figured it's been long enough at this point to still look like the loyal guy, but go ahead and get up out of there.
Yeah, so he been saying for the longest, like, look, I'm here. I'm not one of those cats that bounce around, just chasing championships and all of that. I'm here. I am here for Portland. I'm here for the city. But looks like things have come to a head now. It was reported they had a meeting on Monday, which I still got some questions, like last Monday, and I still got a lot of questions about that with Portland making this move. But it's come to a head, and this man said he wants out. Trade me. Um, so it's just very interesting to me, some of the timelines and the events that had happened. He made some comments about what they should do with the draft pick, what they should do about this. But he's finally come out, said he wants to be traded. And of course, his number one destination, what they're saying is he wants to go join Jimmy in the Miami Heat.
Very interesting. I'm not mad at it, and it's a good spot for him because he can take over that lead. He can come in and be the go-to guy out the gate, and then with Jimmy as doing what Jimmy already does and having less of a scoring responsibility or having the ball in his hands every time down the floor. Yeah, that'd be a beautiful thing for Miami overall.
And they've been talking. They've been talking because they said what I saw earlier today. They also said that Jimmy Butler has been voicing to the organization, go get that man. You know, and you got to think that Miami knew something because look at all the pieces they've gotten rid of. Some pieces already. Some pieces didn't re-sign with them as it was like they were clearing out space. And of course, if they were to facilitate this, there would probably have to be a third team involved, to my understanding, in a whole lot of Brooklyn and amongst other teams in this whole deal and how that would go down. And the fact that Tyler Hero would probably also have to be part of the trade. And I don't know where that lands him, maybe in Brooklyn. But yeah, it's a whole lot with this, man. But these guys have been talking. These guys have been talking, obviously. And Dame has his eyes set on going there. This is the thing that has me puzzled, though. Jeremy Grant, did you see what kind of money he got?
I didn't even see Jeremy Grant sign.
Jeremy Grant was one of the first people to sign during free agency. They gave him 5 years, $160 million. Right. My thoughts would be, did you give him that money knowing that you were going to try to accommodate Dame's request? Like, did you already know that Dame was going to ask to be traded? Because I can't see any way in the world that you give Jeremy Grant, not that he's a bad player, 20 points a game, he's solid. I don't know if he's 5 years, 160, especially for an organization that has so many holes to fill. Like, something just doesn't add up to me. Something ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying?
And he signed where?
Oh, Jeremy Grant. So Grant is important. Grant,
Oh,
they so Grant,
oh, I
they
thought I
gave
was
the
thinking, okay,
organization, they gave him 5 years, 160. And then a
I
couple of
got
days
nothing.
later, Dame requested trade.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah, I just don't see them giving them that type of bread. If because it seems to me you make that type of move and you overspend a little bit. Yes, I'm calling it overspending, thinking that yeah, him and Dame are good together. They tight. That's his boy. He's a part of this organization that's going to help continue to make it successful. And we got Dame here. I just don't think they make that move. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how if they knew that Dame was going to request a trade because they supposedly had met last Monday. Then I don't see why you give Jeremy Grant that type of loot. If they didn't know that he was going to request a trade, then they got to have some type of egg on their face, in my opinion.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
I'm pretty sure. I feel like I saw Tobias Harris is getting paid $40 million next season.
Right.
I ain't saying. I mean, I'm not saying they're the same player at all, or even on the same level. But 40 for Tobias Harris seems like a lot. So, but then when you see 32 a year for Jeremy Grant, it's like, hey, get your money, man. Get your money, man. Life goes on.
Yeah, I ain't mad for them. I ain't mad at them for getting the paper. Believe that. I'm not mad whatsoever. I just don't see. I like to know what was going on behind closed doors in Portland when they made this decision. What did they know and what didn't they know? You know, and this organization probably is not finished being checking up because you got some guys that if you want to get a third team involved, that it could be another player or two from Portland that also gets moved. Like this thing is far from over. Arvin, what's good? Wood, what's good? Brian, Austin, what's good? Appreciate y'all, man. I just thought that was just kind of crazy. So if a story develops and we find out more about this, I'm just real interested to know. That type of money from that organization. I just can't see it. Not if you know that Dame wasn't going to be there. Most likely wasn't going to be there. But yeah, this whole Miami thing is crazy too, man. I'm not trying to see it. I was telling the homie the other day, man, leave that man in the West Coast. If he ain't coming to Madison Square Garden, I'm not trying to see this man nowhere, none of these Eastern Conference teams, man. But right now, they are the prohibitive favorites in Miami. And if anybody can pull that type of deal off, we know what type of executive that Pat Riley is, right? So
Yeah,
they talking on NBA channel like it's a foregone conclusion. I don't know. I done seen crazier things, but I wouldn't be mad at all if it don't happen.
I know you won't. I know you won't. I won't be mad if it does happen. It doesn't have any real effect on me one way or the other. But Dame moving to the East, yeah,
Yeah.
that shifts a little power.
Hey, can you imagine Dame walking up into the offices and doing what he's doing right now? It's time to move me. You know what I'm saying?
It's time
That's
for
what
us
it is.
to go our separate ways.
It's been real. How do you think? How do you think that? We're gonna talk about probably Harden in a minute, but how do you think he would fit in Philadelphia? Because I'm hearing a lot of that too.
Yeah, that was early. I think that was like last year, mid-season, even might even been before that when people were talking about the idea of Dame and Embiid. That's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. I mean, anywhere Dame goes, it's gonna make a difference, especially if there's another player already there. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Dame and Embiid even more than Harden and Embiid. So if that
That
was if that
inside
was a
outside
possibility,
game.
man, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah, it
inside
is.
outside game would be crazy. That joint would be crazy. Create a whole lot of space in that mix there. Um, Also, you know, since we're talking about Philly, what you think about Harden's next stop? So he made the necessary steps with the organization so they could go out and possibly seek a trade for James Harden. I'm gonna be the first to tell you, I am ever so happy that 99.9% that he would not end up in a New York Knicks uniform, because the Knicks and the Clippers were the first two teams that they named that wanted to speak to him. I'm so happy because I don't want him. But what do you think is logical? What do you think he could end up?
Dog, I have no earthly idea. I have no clue. No clue where this man should go. I have no idea. None.
Do you hear what he was asking?
No.
By reports, what his preferred destination?
I saw something about back to Houston, but I didn't think that was him. I thought that was them.
So Houston thing was, I think the Houston thing initially was more the talk of Houston wanting to bring him back.
Gosh,
you know, and they were in that talk at the start of the season, this season, that after this season, that there was a very good chance that he would end up there. But according to reports, his number one destination, he would like Philly to try to seek out, will be with these guys right here. The Clippers, who also, I might add, just re-signed Russell Westbrook. What do you think, man? You think so? First of all, my question would be, one, he just gave Russ that little bit of, when I say a little bit of money, he made enough money in his career, but he gave him a very favorable contract. It's not blowing anybody out of the water. Would he be included in a trade? Or if Harden was to land in LA with the Clippers, would all four of them be together? Like, how would that even work? But that is the talk, that he would like to go to the Clippers to play with PG and Kawhi. I know you ain't trying to see that.
Harden, but ain't but one of them gonna be in the playoffs, so it don't even matter. Man, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool, I guess, for them. Ain't gonna make no difference. I mean, they still gonna lose. It don't matter. If you're rocking the Clippers uniform, I don't care who y'all get, you're gonna run into the same problem. I don't know. Maybe the case of your mans. So, the curse of your mans.
Right.
Yeah, Russ might have to go the other way though. Like that. Russ and Harden together at this point with PG. Like, ain't that many basketballs, yo?
Yeah, that would be a sight to see for real. And like you said, you might have to worry about it too many games, because all of them ain't gonna be on the court together, even being uniform. Well, half the time. So you know that is. They got to have extra medical staff on that bench, right? Like,
everybody gets somebody.
That's crazy. So we'll see what happens with that. And I was starting to look at it too with some of these moves that have just been made. I'm like, well, certain places might start to dry up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope we don't go through this whole mix and they done all this just to turn around and Harden still in the Philly uniform when this is done. That would be crazy.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
No doubt. This is one that it's kind of big to an extent, maybe not to the biggest player in the world. I know a lot of people were asking why, but was he worth that type of money? But I'm happy for the cat. That'll be VanVleet. VanVleet got major paper, bro. 3 years, $130. And I love this, man. I love this. Comes in undrafted, bet on himself, went balled out, went through some good times, won a championship in the NBA. Did have some not so good times, and now he's going to an organization in Houston. Of course, more than likely they ain't gonna win nothing, no time soon anyway. But he gets a chance to try to bring that team up and help bring it up to respectability. And his pockets ain't hurting at all.
is this the reverse Kyle Lowry? But Lowry in Houston and then went to Toronto, or am I mistaken?
Trying to remember, did Lowry go to Houston first?
Or maybe Houston was in the conversation at the same time as
Might have been.
Toronto. But yeah, them flipping the other way and VanVleet going to Houston. Who else did Houston signed? Somebody else too, right?
Well, they made a few moves. They signed Patty Mills, who turned it. Well, they got Patty Mills, who just like with the hour ago was reported, who is now on his way to OKC.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So they got him. They got Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. That's what it was.
Got Dylan Brooks. Yep.
Just some weird stuff going on. I guess everybody just out here grasping at straws. They're like, all right, we ain't gonna be the worst, but I mean, we know we ain't gonna win nothing, and we're gonna have a couple people that y'all might want to see.
I believe I think Jeff Green is there too. I believe. I think I saw that.
Ain't gonna cut it.
And they overpaid a little bit, but I think they gonna overpay a little bit to do some things and try to make ease things for Udoka once he gets over there, because they want that thing to be a success. And they got a lot of young players on that team. They are very, very young. So I think this probably closes the door on what we were just talking about earlier as far as James Harden of going over there. I've seen stranger things though, but I think they like the young guys that he got. So I think they'll be fine. That probably closes the door on that situation. But I love this. You see here on the screen. So he got the 3 years, 130. And I don't know how good you can see it, but his let me remove this real quick. So here he is retweeting himself. So down circled in yellow, if you look at the date, was June 24th and 16. He said, bet on yourself. It's after he didn't get drafted. Didn't get drafted, went to the league, put in work. And then above it is the retweet, as you see, again, he rolled the dice. And he got paid. So this is as of last week. So I got mad respect for this kid, man. I'm happy for him.
Absolutely. Congratulations to him. Get your money, man. Get your money.
Guy who can knock it down, can drive to the basket, And he's still got a lot of years left in his league. But I think he's somebody to be good for those young guys, Porter and all those young guys over there. So respect to him, man. What else we got? Oh, let's talk about your boys. Your boys made quite a bit of moves. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lakers out here, I'm like, wait a minute, where they getting all this money from? We just talking the other day. Like, they pretty much gonna have to run it back, but they found a way. They didn't got a bunch of players over there, man. How you feeling? I mean, y'all got the key piece for me was Hachimura, of course. I was on Pat when I told everybody when y'all made the move to get him from DC. But then you guys managed to slide in a couple of more cats. You out there and got Torian Prince, Cam Reddish. You know what I'm saying?
I like that Cam Reddish.
Yeah, Cam. Yeah, y'all deep, man. You managed to keep your boy Reeves. Give him a little bit of loot out there. D'Angelo Russell is back, which a lot of people thought that he would definitely probably get traded to actually be able to try to make some pieces. Benson, Gabe Vincent, coming off the bench, which I like him a little bit better than I like defensively than I like D'Angelo Russell. So and he can knock him down. So how you feel about what your boys doing, man?
It's cool. I ain't complaining.
Oh, deep.
Oh, we got the echo now. What's going on with that?
You echoing?
Yeah, I was. It went away.
I don't hear it on this.
Yeah, it's cool though. I ain't complaining. Nothing spectacular, but it's solid. And I could have done without D'Angelo Russell personally, but other than that, can't complain. Really, can't complain.
What is it with Laker fans and D'Angelo Russell? Because one of the young cats that works for me, he diehard Laker fan, and he was kind of didn't want D Russ back. And then when I told him that we signed, that y'all signed him, he's like, "Oh man," I'm like, "Okay, still."
You're a little inconsistent, and depending on what your role is on the team, your effectiveness is affected. And he may not be the most effective third option in the world. He might be a better one or two if he is that, but being a third option might not be his strong point. So if he can work his way into that role a little stronger and be a little more consistent, cool. Other than that, yeah, I could do without that one. But overall, I can't complain.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought the man was gonna be a star coming out of college. I told my home, I said, man, I'm trying to tell you, he has the Russell Ball, next NBA superstar, and it hadn't quite panned out that way. But he's all right though. But it's crazy. Laker fans, it's like they won't really all pressed about bringing that man back.
Nah.
So what's good, Travis? What's good, my man? Cliff, what's good? Appreciate y'all checking in, man. Lakers looking good. Lakers are deep, man. Y'all still got y'all, man. Y'all going to run that thing. Ham gonna go 10 deep in the rotation. I mean, play the whole. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Man, whatever gets you to the promised land or close to it. Brian Austin talking about the Lakers trying to get him another one. I'm like, dog, aren't you supposed to, like, how you going to be mad because the team is trying to win a championship, in your opinion? Like, but that don't even make no sense. What are we doing? Y'all, people just be out here looking for a reason. They be looking like, no, let me see. How can I say something that seems negative about LeBron today? Because they trying to win. Darn. But how they going to try to win when they got LeBron? The audacity of them. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Who else we got? Who else we got? Yeah, we gonna talk about my boys for a second.
I was about to say, who else we got?
Yeah, you already know.
Three times dope.
Yeah, the Knicks made a couple of moves, which were intertwined this week. So as you see there in the post, that's Josh Hart. He's talking about bringing this man Dante Divincenzo to the New York Knicks, and we know all three of these guys here played together at Villanova, won a chip. So yeah, they in. We just need Jay Wright to come out of retirement. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get Ed Pickens as an assistant. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
And we can get busy. You know what I'm saying? So we got Big Rick there already. So yeah, man, I love this move. I love both of the moves. So Josh Hart, which you heard me state last year, we got to make him a priority last season. We got to sign him back.
Right.
Dude can do a lot for you. And he opted in. He did the Knicks a favor. He opted in, so which would allow them money-wise to be able to pursue Divincenzo, who's apparently been on their radar for quite some time, and the interest was mutual. They said that there were teams that were offering another $2 to $3 million on average for Josh Hart's services. But it says a lot because he wants to be a New York Knick. He turned down, and it's crazy because I just watched the interview with him and Taylor Rooks, the lovely Taylor Rooks. Anyway. Back focus. And he was talking about getting paid, like, how he's looking to get paid, and as time comes and things of that nature, and things that he always thought about. And this interview was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But then he settles with New York and agreed to take less. And he said, I saw something the other day. He was like, without hesitation. So I think that's what he was talking about. I want to be here. I want to with my mans, bring my other mans with me. The other thing that he wants ain't gonna happen. He didn't send a tweet out about bringing a couple of other cats over from Villanova. You feel me? So that probably ain't gonna happen. But yeah, I like this. I like this trio, man. You got any thoughts on the Divincenzo thing at least?
No, it's a nice piece, a nice addition. It don't matter what I think, Brian. What you think?
I love it because if nothing else, the Knicks now have Divincenzo's strengths, right? It's two things. One, he's a good defender, and he actually defends pretty well against people a little bit bigger. He's only like 6'4", but he defends really well. Nice piece to bring off the bench that can start in spots. And the thing that really gets me happy is the fact that we struggle at times offensively. And even though he doesn't score a lot, usually 9 to 10 points a game. He's good for that 15, 17-point game at any time. And you do know that he was third last year behind Stephen Clay in the Warriors organization in 3-point percentage. Yeah,
you
so
like that, huh? You
I
like
love
that.
almost, he shot almost 40. He was like 39.7. So I like that. They gave him 4 years, 50 mil. So I'm with it. I'm definitely with that. So we'll see what happens. My only question, I got one question. And we got a ton of guards on the roster yet. So people seem to think that we are finished. I'm not 100% sure because there's a lot of things going on, right? I mean, we're deep at guard now. They just gave Miles McBride an extended for like a mil 0.8, I believe. You know, Josh Hart is essentially a guard who will play some small forward down there. Divincenzo, you still got Quickly, and that was the question because with the Knicks getting rid of Obi Toppin, the two hottest names for the Knicks even last year than people inquired about were Toppin and Quickly. You know, so you got Quickly who can play the two, but has essentially really been the backup for Brunson, right? But you got a ton of guards on that squad. So I just and then at power forward because when you get now that Toppin's gone, all you got is Julius Randle at the power. I mean, you know, theoretically. So I'm beginning to wonder: is there another move in play? They still got Fournier on the roster. They trying to dump his salary, even though I don't know how big teams are going to be to jump at him because I think his expires after the season. It's like 18 mil. So I just feel like they're going to at least entertain trying to get another power forward, maybe a backup power if a Randall deal doesn't come up this year, which I don't think it will,
Right.
to fill that slot because you're stuck. So your centers are you got Hardenstein backing up Mitch, right? The only other guy is usually Jericho Sims. And he's been back and forth from the G League and all that. But maybe you can put him at power forward. Maybe he's 6'9", not experienced with the New York Knicks, but you really don't have much behind him. You know what I'm saying? So I won't be surprised if another move comes up. Quentin Grimes. I mean, we got guards for days. Y'all need some?
Nah, we all right.
You sure? I mean, I'll work a deal with you.
I'm positive.
Okay,
Thanks
let's
for
make
the
it
offer.
sure. But word up. I'm cool with running it back. We don't need unless something unthinkable comes up, which it won't this season. Now, I'm cool with us not doing nothing crazy or drastic because, one, we all know, and we're probably never going to get neither one of them, but the Knicks, just like everybody else, is monitoring next year. What's going to happen with Embiid, you know, because the talk's there. And, of course, there's the Giannis situation because Giannis is up after this year. And is he going to be happy? You would think that Giannis would be the Bucks would want to do everything they can to keep Giannis happy. And I think they did the move, to be honest with you, man. I think they've been the most impressive team during free agency, in my opinion, because they managed to keep everybody. You know, you got a new coach in Adrian Griffin over there, but they managed to keep everybody. Brooke Lopez signing back. They gave Chris Middleton his money, you know. Key piece off the bench. I believe Jay Crowder is going to be back off the bench. So they managed to stay, status quo. So, but everybody's monitoring those situations with those guys next year, and the Knicks are no different.
Facts.
Just saw that Eric Gordon, I believe, just came across the timeline to signing with Phoenix.
That's a nice pickup, actually. Yeah. That's a nice pickup.
And speaking of Villanova guys, we was talking about Bridges.
Yeah. Oh, Bridges.
Yeah, he just signed the offer sheet with the Hornets. Got an offer from the Hornets. So all that's coming through. I'll be right here recording. So, and I believe I think he part of Clutch Sports. Clutch Sports out here winning, bro. You know, your boy LeBron letting these people know, like people was talking about a couple of these people leaving Clutch and was talking smack about them. You think about over the weekend, Rich Paul, all right, Jeremy Grant got the 5 for 100. I mean for 160. Draymond 4 for 100 to stay with his squad. He's also VanVleet's guy. got that at 3 for 130. So he ain't just got a deal, he got bank too. Like he got a good company. He doing his thing, man. Shout out to Rich Paul, man. And LeBron put a tweet out the other day letting you know y'all stop sleeping on my man.
Yeah, out here doing his thing, and he getting his bread as well. So can't be mad at that.
Kind of undrafted free agent 3 for $130. This man, between those three guys, orchestrated $390 million worth of deals in a span of a couple of days, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't mad at Rich at all.
Let me get
Bridges is officially signed a
190,000.
qualifying offer. Okay.
Let me get 390,000.
Just let me get 300. Good with
Ain't asking for too much. Shoot.
So a couple other things we run through. Who else we got out there? How you feel about Kyrie staying in Dallas?
Don't bother me none. He ain't come to LA, so I'm cool with that. Yeah, Kyrie and Luka is Kyrie and KD. I mean, it'd be fun to watch, but it won't cross the burning sands and then.
He won't do. Yeah, I do like the fact that they signed Seth Curry though. I think that was a good pickup for them.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. I did like
where
it
they're
as well.
structured, where they're set up. You can definitely use his shooting. So strong move for Mark Cuban and his boys. A couple other smaller things. Tyrese Halliburton, he got an extension. He got that rookie max going on. Still, he hit the 5-year max, $207 million, which could be worth more. I always think about Tyrese Halliburton because as a Knicks fan, a lot of people don't remember. We just got rid of traded away Obi Toppin yesterday, which people are mad about that. But the thing was, Halliburton was sitting right there, and we took Toppin instead of Halliburton. So Knicks fans ain't gonna never forget that. Sabonis, he got loot. He's staying over where he is. Derrick Rose to Memphis. Guns and Roses.
They wild, dog. They wild. They couldn't wait to get that John off.
I think Memphis is strong, man. I think they signed Bane back. You bring Derrick Rose over. You already got Marcus Smart, and they can hold it down till Ja come back, and then they still all can play. Very, very strong few days for the Memphis Grizzlies. Only other thing I really got, man, would be you see your boy LaMelo got paid.
Did he?
LaMelo, yeah, they went on and hit him up with the extension on that rookie max. So he's also, he's also in that 5 years, technically 207, right. But it can be 260 if he makes any of the All NBA teams. Yeah, coming off that ankle fracture, played 36 games last year, getting paid. He got more money than all the Pops. LiAngelo is out here. I think he dating adult stars and film stars and poor Lonzo. They talking about. I saw some other day. They talking about people starting to question if he ever gonna play pro basketball again.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I was like, man, that's sad. That's sad like, right there. Because he hadn't even hit his full potential across the board, like consistently. Mm-hmm. Man, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, man. But yeah, LaMelo got paid, so he got a shot to hit 260 mil. That crazy. Is ridiculously crazy, man. A lot of other stuff, nothing really major than popped up. We got a bunch of other smaller moves that have gone down. Still things to watch. Like I said, we mentioned, of course, what's going to go down with Harden. And there's some other things that are yet to be figured out with some players. Some players could still be on the move. Tyler Hero possibly.
Tyler the Hero.
They still shoot. They still got Caleb Martin. That's going to be interesting to see what Miami has to do to make this work if it happens, and who else they would have to lose. Like I said, already losing Vincent to you guys, and then Strus is gone too. He's in Cleveland. So
well,
I mean, they did just sign back with Love coming back, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, love wasn't a negative, so there's that. But I don't think there's anything to write home about. So
Indeed, indeed. I got something else real quick. You got anything else, NBA, or about this free agency?
nah. Just saw
I think
Jordan
we should hit.
Boston resign in Utah, but that's about it.
All right, cool, indeed. You know how we do towards the end of the show. I got to give a quick WNBA hit. First of all, we were just talking about 40-point performers. You see, my girl Jewel Lloyd. That's one of my five in the league. Went for 41 the other night. They lost, but another 40 plus point entry to the in the women's game, man. What I really want to discuss, and I know we also talk about this almost every week, but we got to talk about it today, just based on this past few days. The Aces. Did you see what the Aces actually did to, I guess, the second and third best teams in the league this
Run
past
them
week?
up out of there. Run them up out of there.
We ain't talking source. We ain't talking about, bro, that they just won the games. They're beating the brakes off these people, man. Like, look at these scores.
Get them.
That is
Hey,
crazy,
look,
bro.
this is what it is. This is what it is. It's Golden State-ish. It's Golden State-ish over that joint. Golden
You
State
know
with
what's
KD.
scary? You know what's scary? We were just talking about Candace Parker the last week or two, and then now you watch the last couple of games. She's actually looking like, first I was just sitting back feeling, I was hit some passes. She been balling, like balling. And what's going to be interesting, I don't know if she will. So, of course, based on a lot of factors, slow start, things of that nature, she didn't get voted to the All-Star team. But you got some injuries and stuff starting to come up now. It'll be interesting to see by the time they close this thing out, does she end up there or not? I'm
That'd be
keeping an
dope. Yeah.
eye. Lena Deladon's gotten hurt. A couple other players have gone down. Injuries we're watching. So be interesting to see if all of a sudden she ends up on one of these squads. But
Yep.
they just straight beating the brakes off of people, like not even close.
Well, yeah, I think we talked about it before the season started that this was going down.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Well,
somebody,
winning is one thing, man, but they've been impressive, bro.
yeah, as expected, Brian. I know you expected it. Uh, and as good as New York is still, it's still early, like relatively, it's still early in their having a complete package that they have now, but not the Aces, not the Aces, and the Aces, they were already settled. Then they brought in a player that doesn't need the ball, that doesn't have to be in the way, that's just coming in and finding her way. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching every game to see who's having the better passing night between her and the point guard. These passes between these two is crazy. Point guard just got that. She's just passing perfection nearly. Candace is just the perfect touch. Like if she was a quarterback, she'd be that quarterback like with the perfect touch. I don't see how she can pass the ball as nicely as she did while she's moving. I'm watching her last week in the game, and when they were playing New York, she gets the ball, she's down low, double team, fights the two people for the rebound, spins out of it, then throws it over another player, you know, for the easy bucket, for old girl speaking down the court. I'm sitting there like, then the joint she hit, she had one with Aisha Wilson in that game, then her and Aisha had a nice connection yesterday too. Like the passes, it's not that she's passing, the passes that she's making is ridiculous. But she's doing this her whole career though.
Yeah, they said it ain't nothing new for the wifey, your wifey, not mine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, she doing her thug thizzle as
No doubt.
expected.
As expected, no doubt. So we'll see what goes on with them. I'm really rethinking. I told you I was supposed to think about going back down to DC. I'm like,
Oh
it'd be
yeah,
nice to go down there and see them, live, close in action.
right.
But I'm trying to figure how I would really feel if I go down there and they end up beating the brakes off of a pretty good Washington team, even though they didn't have some rough, some struggles lately. Some of it's because of injuries, though. Or I could just watch it on TV. I'm still contemplating that. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be par for the course if they do, though. It'll be par for the course.
Yeah, so I don't know. But that's real interesting. But I had to shout out and show Drew Lloyd some love, and of course continue to show the Aces some love because they deserve it. And and that's all I got. I think we're gonna talk some hip hop on Tuesday, part 2 or the second episode of Know the Ledge. So we're gonna go some 80s, 90s, finish up some 80s. We can talk some 90s, and of course, I think we can talk some Busta Rhymes. And we're gonna talk. We probably gonna talk some Jim Jones and Pusha T too, and see if there's any feelings about that. So, it is what it is. You got anything for the people?
I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow or if it's gonna be later in the week, but probably gonna get this because I've had the conversation multiple times, and it keeps coming back up. So, somebody the other day, as we were having the conversation, it was like, you should do a Andre 3000 versus Big Boy bootleg versus. And I said, word, all right. Well, I don't think you're the first person to say that, but y'all keep saying it, so let's get it on. So probably do a bootleg versus. I guess that's number 44. Bootleg. Oh, that'd be nice. Bootleg versus 44. Andre versus Big Boy. That would be all right. That would be all right.
Well, y'all love y'all some Andre, man. But y'all stop disrespecting Big Boy, man. Y'all stop disrespecting.
Oh, yo, nothing.
Yeah. That's how it go down on social media, especially Twitter. That's how it go down. So,
yo, don't at me.
Appreciate y'all checking us out. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Yes, sir.